welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're plunging into a topic that is, well, absolutely central for any organization striving to truly understand its customers. Particularly in the fast-paced world of retail banking.
hmm
The core challenge we're really unpacking is this. How do banks move beyond, those basic feedback forms and standard net promoter scores? How do they genuinely uncover what makes their customers tick, pinpoint the real problems they face, and figure out what truly enhances their experience?
It's such a critical question because the traditional methods, well, they seem straightforward, right? But they definitely come with limitations. What often gets missed is that while they give you these quantitative snapshots, a number, maybe a score, they often fail completely at capturing the deeper why.
Yeah, the reason behind the number.
Exactly, the why behind customer feelings. Plus, they can feel pretty impersonal, which often leads to low response rates. And even when you do get feedback, it's frequently just surface-level stuff, not really deep enough to drive meaningful change. You end up swamped with data, but with very little context.
Right, so you might get a 7 out of 10. Okay, great. But what does that mean? What's the story behind that 7? And managers trying to sift through tons of open-ended comments. It's like drinking from a fire hose. Insights get buried.
Totally. Information overload is a real problem.
So the big question becomes, how do you take that huge amount of often kind of fragmented data and turn it into clear, concise, and most importantly, actionable insights? Insights that actually reveal what's going on underneath.
Precisely. The challenge isn't just collecting more data, it's about creating a continuous, actionable dialogue, something that helps you measure the real impact of the changes you make and helps build that lasting customer loyalty. It means understanding not just what customers are feeling, but why they feel that way and what specific things will actually make a difference to them.
And that's exactly where we'll focus our deep dive today. We're going to explore a really innovative approach, one powered by AI, that promises to, well, maybe revolutionize how banks engage with their retail customers. It's about enabling these ongoing sort of qualitative conversations designed to surface the genuine root causes and then check if the fix has actually worked.
Mm-hmm.
Our sources really highlight this fascinating tool called PulseShape. It's developed by Insteria, and their full name includes this interesting tag is money-making software. We'll dig into how it represents this new frontier in customer understanding. So let's start by going a bit deeper into the current state, customer feedback in banking. Most of us know the drill, right? The email survey after a call or the pop-up form after you use the app, asking for a rating. Seems easy enough to send out.
Oh, they certainly are easy to deploy. That's their big appeal, no doubt. They offer that quick, quantitative pulse check. But, as we said, the limitation is their inability to really get to the why.
Hmm.
So, a low score tells you someone's unhappy, but why? Is it the app being slow? Was it an unhelpful interaction? Is the product itself confusing? The survey doesn't usually tell you that.
Right.
And these static surveys can feel very generic, very impersonal, which often means people just ignore them, low response rates. And like I mentioned, even the responses you get often lack the specifics you need to actually do something targeted. It's like getting a symptom, but zero diagnosis.
And then, okay, say you do get some written feedback in those open text boxes.
Yeah.
Suddenly, it's just this overwhelming volume of text for any human analyst to handle.
Yeah.
It's really tough to pull out consistent, meaningful themes from, hundreds or thousands of individual unstructured comments.
Exactly. It's a huge manual effort.
So how do you bridge that gap? How do you connect the numbers with the real stories and move from just knowing sentiment to finding precise, actionable recommendations? This is where the conversation about AI solutions gets really, really interesting. Imagine shifting away from those static one-off forms to something much more dynamic, an ongoing dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Our sources point to PulseShape as a prime example, an AI tool that fundamentally changes how feedback is gathered and, crucially, how it's understood.
Right. So PulseShape works by using an AI interviewer. It can engage people through text or even through voice. But the key innovation here isn't just automating the questions. It's that every participant's input, could be employees, could be customers, gets transformed into what they call an anonymized replica.
A replica.
Yeah, a replica. And you can actually interact with it, have a chat. It's not just a data point. It's designed to be like a digital reflection you can talk to, almost like you would on WhatsApp or Teams.
Okay, that is key. So these replicas, they aren't just bots making stuff up. They're based on real people.
Exactly. The descriptions really stress that they are living reflections of real people. They're anonymized, obviously for privacy, but they get updated as people's perspectives change over time. So the insights stay grounded in actual current human experience, not just old data or, synthetic guesses.
Wow, okay.
And they're careful to preserve the original tone, the role of the person, even direct quotes, but always anonymized. Then, these individual replicas get intelligently grouped into maybe 1 to 5 evolving segments based on shared views.
Ah, okay.
Think of it like having, say, 5 virtual focus groups running all the time,
Yeah.
always available, no scheduling headaches, no meeting rooms.
Right. Instant focus groups on demand.
Pretty much. It gives you these clear, anonymized group signals. That builds trust and helps you figure out what actions to take. You're tapping into the collective wisdom whenever you need it.
Okay, so what does this actually mean for getting to the heart of tricky customer issues? Especially in banking where things can be complex.
Yeah.
It means you can have a real dialogue to find the root cause, not just guessing.
That's the core idea. The interface is basically a simple chat. So a manager or a team lead can jump in and ask follow-up questions. They can ask for clarification directly from these AI segments.
Yay.
And the segments respond using those real anonymized quotes. This lets you ask things like, okay, why is that very human way of digging deeper?
Like peeling an onion.
Exactly. You can really drill down into specific pain points or understand the underlying expectations your retail customers have. So if a segment flags low satisfaction with the mobile app, you don't just stop there. You ask, okay, what specific features are causing problems? Or can you give me an example of a recent frustration?
That's powerful. And I read it even lets these segments kind of debate each other virtually.
It does. It can simulate a group workshop discussion, all without anyone needing to leave their desk.
Which sounds like you get a much richer picture.
Right.
Multiple angles on the same problem, not just one biased view. Yeah.
That's precisely the advantage. The AI is designed to dig into the feedback, reveal that why, and turn all those scattered comments into concise, data-driven recommendations. This is so critical for banks needing to understand the precise friction points their customers face.
Yeah.
And here's something important. If you ask a question about something that wasn't covered in the original feedback,
It doesn't just make up an answer, like some AIs might.
no, it doesn't hallucinate. Instead, it flags that new question, and it gets added to the next pulse check that goes out to the real people.
So it keeps the replicas synced up with reality.
Exactly. It ensures the digital replicas are continuously synchronized with how actual human perspectives are evolving. It's a learning system that stays grounded.
And the scalability. All right. I mean, imagine having these human-style conversations, but with hundreds, maybe thousands of customers, anytime you want, without annoying them constantly or organizing huge meetings. That's a massive shift.
It really is.
Right.
And if we connect this back to the bigger picture actually improving banking services, one of the huge advantages is the continuous monitoring it allows. PulseShape keeps refreshing the feedback over time. Could be on a regular schedule, or it could be triggered if there's missing context or something new happens. This allows for what the developers call signals over time.
Okay, so you're not just getting a single snapshot, like, here's how customers felt on Tuesday.
Mhm.
You're getting ongoing signals over time that show trends, shifts, changes as they actually happen.
Exactly. It's like having a constant real-time finger on the pulse of your customer base, but without noise.
How do you mean without the noise?
Well, managers only get alerted when something meaningfully shifts.
Uh,
So no constant spam, no data overload. You just get notified when action might actually be needed or when a trend emerges that's worth looking into.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Focus on what matters.
Right. And this continuous feedback loop lets banks track progress, positive or negative, on their service levels, on customer opinions. And crucially, it lets them get real-world feedback on the changes and actions they've already implemented.
So you can actually see if that new feature you rolled out or that policy change is having the impact you wanted.
Precisely. You can figure out the actual impact on customer satisfaction and ultimately on customer stickiness. Are people staying with the bank? Are they happier? Are they maybe even recommending the bank to others? It's about connecting the dots between your efforts and real customer behavior.
So you can genuinely measure that ripple effect. Not just guess, but track it continuously over the long term. This
Yeah.
is huge for proving the value of CX initiatives.
This whole approach using something like PulseShape sounds incredibly powerful for retail banks, especially those really trying to boost quality and their NPS scores. You're moving way beyond just a number on a report. You're getting deep, actionable insights straight from the customer's perspective or their replica. Absolutely. The end goal here is achieving actionable outcomes, things that genuinely improve service levels and make customers happier. It kind of streamlines the whole process. It skips a lot of that manual data crunching grunt work and gets you straight to concrete ideas, straight to recommendations.
Makes sense.
And it's interesting to note the person behind Insteria and PulseShape, Peter Fusek, he has like almost 25 years of experience in banking and telco, including some big roles in CRM and innovation at major banks like Raiffeisen and VuBanka.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That-
so that background really highlights how this tech is grounded in understanding the practical needs of the financial sector. It's not just theoretical.
Right. It's built by someone who understands the problems banks face.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it's about fundamentally changing how banks interact with customers,
Mm-hmm.
making sure every voice gets heard, gets understood,
Yeah.
and then turning that understanding into real, tangible improvements.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned accessibility. It seems quite easy to get started.
Yeah, they even mentioned setting up a Teams survey for just a symbolic €9. You can
Mhm.
share the link via Slack, email, WhatsApp, pretty standard stuff. But here's a really neat detail. Team members who maybe don't have a smartphone or easy internet access, they can participate by just calling a phone number.
Really, just call in their feedback.
Apparently so. That really broadens who can participate, makes the feedback process much more democratic, includes everyone.
It is interesting. Very inclusive. Okay, so wrapping this up a bit, we've seen how these AI-led conversational interviews with tools like PulseShape offer a really compelling alternative to the old survey methods. They provide this continuous, deep, and actionable dialogue with customers. It feels like a significant step forward.
Definitely. The whole approach shifts the focus. It moves beyond simply knowing what customers feel to really understanding the complex why behind those feelings, and that enables much more targeted improvements. Plus, it lets organizations actually validate the real-world impact of those changes over time. It's all about fostering genuine, sort of human-like engagement, but doing it at scale, making sure feedback doesn't just sit there, but leads to real action.
Yeah, that promise you mentioned, having a one-to-many to individual interaction with your whole customer base, where every voice contributes, gets grouped with similar views, and is deeply understood. That really does feel like it reshapes the future of customer feedback and service innovation, too.
It transforms what can often feel like guesswork into an ongoing, informed conversation.
Absolutely.
Which leads to, I think, an important question for you, the listener, to maybe reflect on for your own context. In this world where digital interaction is just constantly increasing, what does it really mean to have a truly human-like conversation with potentially thousands of your customers? And what kind of new opportunities might that unlock for loyalty, for innovation, and yeah, ultimately for your organization's success?